This is a more detailed tutorial about the sharp betting BetTracker. You can find it on the website if you go to the betting school, or simply Google it for the sharp betting BetTracker. And it works on all devices, mobile, tablet, desktop, laptop, but it's obviously easier to do the full demo on full screen. So I'm on the main computer here. If I go to full screen, it just gives you more functionality. So the first thing to do is just see how you would enter a bet manually. So you've got plenty of options in the sportsbooks as default, but let's say you wanted to add a new sportsbook. So I'm just going to say it's called New Book. And my first bet is going to be on, I'm going to say it's a new sport, so let's say NFL. And it's event, so I'm just going to put in Team A versus Team B. And I'm going to bet on the money line. Excuse me. I'm taking the away team. I can put anything I want in here. I can add new selections in all these drop downs, but I'm just going to take the away team, and my odds are going to be 2.5, and I'm having a $10 or £10 bet, and the result is open. Add the bet. So that's now in the system. That's now stored. Already I can download that CSV to save it. So I'm underway. I've started, so I can just hit download. And if I come out of full screen, it will be saved in that's saved locally now. But so that's the bet. Now what I could do is go in and it could be a settled bet, so I can settle that directly. So I just hit edit, it brings up the bet, and I just say that was a winning bet. Hit save. I can also change the time of the bet. Let's say I wanted to backdate some bets. I can edit. So I can now edit everything in the details for each individual bet. So you just repeat the process. So if you're doing a load of bets in succession, you can just say, right, well, it was Team B, Team C, v Team D, and just go through, and you can get bets entered pretty quickly, just as a sort of data entry task. But I'm just going to show how it works with more data. So you could have data from a different spreadsheet from a sports book that you've downloaded, or any other records that you keep, and you can upload those directly, so you've got the data to start with, but you'd have to make it formatted in the correct way for the tracker. So if you just hit the sample data, it will bring in some example data that's already happened, and these are just sort of random bets that we've created. They're not real events. Some of them are, some of them aren't, but you get the feeling that you can just go through everything here and see the full app, how it works. So I'm in the full screen. I could, at this point, I've got 136 bets in the history. I've got an ROI of 17%, and I could say I want to actually look at, dig into how I'm doing. So I can search for, let's say I want to see how my football bets are. So I've done 71 football bets at 20.4%. I can even see how am I doing on my 1x2. So my 1x2 is minus 20% after 16 bets. So you get complete control to analyze the data here. It's also useful if you're looking to settle events. So I might want to, I'll come back to settlement actually. So first of all, we're going to go and have a look at some analysis now. So if I hit the analysis button, it then brings up the sort of default screen. So overall, it is showing my 120 settled bets in the default last 3-month period. Let's say I wanted to look at my entire history. I can hit all time. 136 bets have been placed, and it gives you a summary of the this week's results. There have been 49 bets settled this week according to this dummy data. I've got a sports breakdown by P&L in the main sports that are in this bet history. You can break that down into ROI as well. I can then click on an individual sport, and it will tell me how the markets break down within that sport. So you can see here the BTTS No is my most profitable. The 1.5 goals line is the best in terms of the ROI, but there are only 5 bets on that. And I can now scroll down, and I'll get all these metrics about how the data is formed over time. And you can, if you don't want to see these, you can cancel these panels, close those down, and you can change the views obviously. And then at the bottom you get a summary of your best performing markets and worst markets, best bets, worst bets, and a word cloud here that just shows your favourite things that you're betting on and your most profitable things to just have a look at. So I go back to the top, and I'm just going to reset the filters, and again go to all time, and I want to have a look at the summary of how I'm performing, and this will load. As long as you've got at least 50 bets in the data, it will load the sort of key findings that are in the data. So it shows what your ROI is, 17.2, we can see that here. It also shows a what if you flat staked everything, so just bet the same amount on every single bet, the return would be 47%. So there's obviously some big price winners in here, and a sharp stake ROI would be 16%. And if you're not sure about sharp stakes, you can click that and it will just explain what the sharp stakes are. But I've now got these key findings, so this would just list sort of the unique behaviours within the data. So some of this stuff is quite fun to dig into. Again, this will work on your mobile, but if you want to take it like offline, you can create a PDF and just press that button, and that's now created a PDF of the findings. I can also create a PDF on an individual sport. So if I come out of here and hit football, and let's say I'm only interested in my last 3 months of football, so I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to hit a summary. I want to just analyse the 55 bets I've had on football in the last 3 months, and again I'm going to just create a PDF of this. So that's done, and now I'm going to go back and show what I mean about doing real data. So I'm now going to, instead of just using this sample data, I'm going to clear all, start again. I'm going to just show you what I do to upload the data that is like live data that is actually being updated on a daily basis. So I upload the CSV, I hit the button, and so as of last night, it's now the 16th of June, so last night was the most recent update to this file. So I've had 130 bets. I'm going to open that up, and again it shows me everything. I'm going to go to full screen, and it shows me everything that is in the system. So if I hit all bets, of my 130 bets, I'm pretty much breaking even. Excuse me, I've got some paper trade bets in here which I'll explain as well. But let's say I want to settle some bets, so I'm going to hit, what's 26? I've got 26 open bets, so Belgium, Egypt in the World Cup last night, I believe, yeah, under 2.5 goals was a bet we had. So I'm going to just click open, and it'll find the result for me. There you go, it was 1-1 in that game. So I can now hit edit, and that bet was a win, and save that. So I've now got 25 open bets, and again here I can sort of look if there was something, if there was a match that I'm trying to find. Perhaps I want to do some research, I can just search on any sort of name, and it will bring up the specific bet and how you've done. So you can see that there are 2 bets on Fury. Let's have a look at how many bets. I've had 40 bets on BTTS, and then I can have a look at yes. I only had 1 bet on BTTS, yes, and that's, oh look, let's look at that result. Okay, so that was last night. I know already that's a loss, so, but let's just check. 0-0. So go back, and again, it's a loss for that one. So save that, clear that out of the filter, all bets, and now, so I've got 24 open bets still. I've got how many settled bets? So right, so there's 130 in here. I'm going to go to the analysis now. So 100 settled bets now in 3 months. Again, entirely up to me. I can just dig into the different sports and produce a summary for this data. There we go. So this is an interesting one. So in this data where I'm basically breaking even at 0.3 ROI, a flat stake would be negative and a sharp stake would actually be in profit. So the analytics will just give you some sort of key things that you know, food for thought to consider in your bet behaviour going forward. This is also quite an interesting one where in this bet history where the stakes have been low, comparatively for the individual user, they're losing at 17%. So this could make me think maybe I drop the low stakes, knock them on the head because they're not doing any good, and the medium and the high stakes is where the ROI is sitting at. So that's basically the tracker. Tons of stuff to get into. Works on all devices. So what I do want to mention as well is we want people to be able to use this for assessing new systems. So we've got a tool here at the top which is including paper trade. So paper trade is basically just what we refer to as you're having a bet, but it's not actually real money. So paper trade is what we would put in the sportsbook list. But I can take it out here, and you'll see that if I reset my filters here, all time 100 bets. Okay, if I take out so if I exclude the paper trade, I've only had 34 real bets. Okay, so all the other ones have been paper trade, and I can just dig in and just look at my 66 paper trade bets. So you can see that I've been using the app to track systems that I'm interested in using. So to do that, you just, from the tracker input screen, you just select paper trade, and literally you can just run through anything that you want to have a keep an eye on. And player A, and let's say player A is 3.6, 50 quid, and it's open bet. So that's now going to put that in open, add that. That's now an open bet in the paper trade category. So again, it allows me to analyse systems that I'm interested before I actually use them with real money. So it's good if I've got a new theory that I want to check. You can keep it all in the app, and again, just get rid of those if you are not interested in seeing your real world performance. So that's essentially the app. Again, so what I would do now is download my CSV, because I've updated it, settled a couple of bets, and then repeat the process at any point during the day. And yeah, we already had some great feedback, and if there's any sort of requirements or additional things that you think would be useful, obviously you can get in touch. But you know, hope that helps explain the tool. Works on all devices. It's best on full screen, like you can see, and it's also available on mobile. And yeah, enjoy it.